Welcome to Insights into Insurance from the A-Team at Americana Insurance Group. All information provided is educational in nature and not intended to be acted upon without first consulting the appropriately licensed professional.
It's a Saturday morning. That means it's time for an Insights into Insurance with Americana Insurance here on 1450 KATE. Tom Sorensen with Americana Insurance is with us, and a good morning to you, Tom.
Hey, good morning, Mike.
We've had plenty of heat, we've had rain, we've had hail in some areas, so the topic today is we're going to talk a little bit about what do you do when we have severe weather, and it's happened to me, and we want to make sure the listeners are educated on what to do if something happens in regards to weather-related claims.
Yes, absolutely, and I believe I'm going to talk about a phone call that we got, and I'll let you read the kind of the gist of my phone call that I got from a client.
Yeah, this came from the client, and It said he had an out-of-town contractor that knocked on his door and wanted to look at his roof. And the client asked if you were okay with that, or what would you recommend anyone doing?
Right, and so just so the audience knows, they might say, well, geez, this sounds kind of like a previous show. Well, I actually did do this show after the March tornado last year, because we did have some of these
scammers,
storm chaser scammers. Yeah. So that if I'm going to call this Storm Chaser number 2 radio show, but it is so important that I feel that I want to reiterate what we were discussing last year to this year, just to make sure, because guess what? We had, I think it was 5 or 6 days straight of hail somewhere in our vicinity, our area.
And then just last Tuesday night, we had, according to the National Weather Service, we had straight line winds that had hit the Geneva area, east of Geneva, that turkey barn that was destroyed. So
yes,
we are in the severe weather outlook area right now.
Right, and that's where this phone call actually came from, is that area. So,
all right, so let's answer the question.
Yep.
Can a contractor just go ahead and start working?
No, he can't just go ahead and start working. But first of all, the answer is yes. I'm okay with you getting it looked at from an outside contractor. So if it is an out-of-state contractor or out of town or out of the local area, there's nothing that I can say or do that you can't have that done. Okay. However, and then the second part of the question is, do I have any recommendations or referrals of contractors if they don't, if I don't want them to use an outside contractor? And that's a loaded question for me, is because I could give a numerous amount of contractor names. The issue is I got to watch myself, because whenever anybody asks me for referrals as an agency, then someone could take that as I am guaranteeing their work, and I'm not. Okay, so truthfully, we try not to do any type of referrals, but I would highly recommend a local contractor, and we'll get more into that here later in the show.
And very important is these contractors that are out storm chasers, they're going to be very aggressive. They may come back to you and say, you know what, I've worked with Americana Insurance all the time. Tom and his crew, we use them all the time, and they use us all the time. But we'll get into more of that. But just take a step back, because they're also in a point where they'll say, I can get at this in the next couple of days, because if you get a local contractor, it's going to be a little time, but it better be safe than sorry.
Absolutely. And again, we'll get even more into that why local. And again, I'm not saying that everybody that's from the outside area is bad or a scammer. That's the last thing I want people to know. But I would say that anybody from the outside area, outside contractor that comes knocking on the door, yes, you can get a estimate, and I can't stop you from them doing but have it. There comes with caution, okay? And so, in the industry, like I said, we like to call these people storm chasers, okay? You think of it as ambulance chasers. You used to always hear about stories of lawyers
Right.
following ambulances and to get their clients and give them their card right there. Well, in a way, this is kind of the ambulance chaser of storms, okay? Is after the storms are done, I'm not kidding you, sometimes they can be there the night of, the next day. It is incredibly fast, okay, that they come. And so that's one thing you got to know. So I guess what I'm trying to say is you have worked so hard to put a roof over your head and the heads of your loved ones. The last thing you want to do is put that roof or that house in jeopardy, because that's exactly what some of these storm chasers are doing by scamming unsuspecting people around the country.
And it's really, I fell victim to it. I'll be the first to admit. We had, when the tornado went through the Alden, kind of the Conger area, man, I was devastated. I had lost trees, I lost window, I had siding damage, I had roof damage, and lo and behold, that day as I'm cleaning up, here comes somebody that says, my grandma lives down the street, I'm doing her house, I can do your house, and we can get this thing done. And in the heat of the moment, that's the first thing that I think a lot of homeowners say is, oh man, I've got somebody here, they can get it done right away, let's get it done.
They take advantage of you at a very opportune time. And so...
let's talk a little about how do you identify the roof scammers, so to speak?
Right. So storm chasers usually come around and they'll leave leaflets at your house or shows up at your door unannounced, and that's what happened with my call that I got from my client, offering a free house or roof inspection after a storm or strong winds, and then there's an increased chance that they could be a scammer. Increased chance, not saying they are. There are legitimate businesses that do this, so you may want to not dismiss them immediately. That's up to you, especially if you have a roof that's in need of repair. But this is some key questions or research that I have done or that you will want to ask them. First of all, where is their business based? Beware of out-of-state address or P.O. box, okay? Also, they might say, we're from Owatonna. Oh, Owatonna, huh? Okay, well, that's Owatonna. Well, if they can't say their own town name, just beware of those things, okay? Obviously, if they have a southern drawl, I don't think they're probably, and I can't say this for sure, but I'm guessing they're not from probably Manchester,
There you go.
To provide contact information as their business card so you can follow up. So, however, beware, those business cards nowadays can be created pretty quickly on a computer.
Put them on the computer, print them off, and you got a business card.
Right. So you might want to call and just do your due diligence and just call them and see, is this a real business? Ask them if they are insured and by who, and ask for proof of insurance. What I would ask is for a certificate of insurance, okay? Now, you'll get a certificate of insurance if they have insurance, and what that certificate is really, truthfully, just a snapshot in time. Think of taking a picture of their insurance at time. So that certificate might say June 1st they have this coverage, but you know what? June 2nd they could have canceled it. Okay,
that's fast.
Yeah, so call the agency on there. That's listed as the agency or company, and make sure that their insurance is still good. And also, they might want to just show you their deck page or their policy that they have with the insurance. Again, might show effective dates from 1/1 of 2018 to 1/1/2019. Well, they would have bought that policy on 1/1/2018. They could have canceled it a day later, 2 months later. You know what I'm saying? So,
and they would still have the actual insurance certificate saying they were still good till next year.
Yeah. So those are all things. Call the company, make sure that they still have it if you're going to go down this route. And then also, do they have a current license with the local building department or licensing agency? That's another good thing to check on.
Better Business Bureau as well is another rating.
Well, and that's what my next topic is. Well, once you've talked to them now and you got some of this information after they leave, you can search online for their name of their business. Make sure to confirm any details they provided and look for reviews. Big red flags should go up if you can't find them online, to be honest with you. Now, not all local contractors would be online, but if you're a national contractor going around and basically going into from storm to storm, you better probably have a website. Okay,
we're talking with Tom Sorensen, Americana Insurance, Insights into Insurance. It's Storm Chasers number 2. Be aware of the scammers that may be out there. Tom, let's take our first break, and we'll continue with this after the contractor has left your premise, what you actually do, as you're listening to Insights into Insurance on this Saturday morning here on Kate.
Nationwide is on your side. You have a side that is retired, playing tag and getting tired. A side that owns your own store. Looks like you need to explain some more. That's why there's a Nationwide. They help protect and grow your many sides. Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
For all your many sides, there's Nationwide. Call Americana Insurance Group in Albert Lea and Wells today.
Welcome back to Insights into Insurance here on 1450 KATE. Mike Whitus along with Tom Sorensen from Americana Insurance. And Tom, we're talking about storm chasers, kind of our second part of this. We talked about these storm chasers showing up at your business, showing up at your home. Now let's talk a little bit about, okay, after that person has left, what do we do?
Yeah, and I was talking about, searching online and that, and look at any type of social media accounts and reviews that are done online or anything in Facebook or whatever. But also check on Better Business Bureau, like you were saying before, is also a good idea. But you know what? The main thing is, don't ignore your gut. Okay, if you if they didn't seem professional or pushy or something like that, and you kind of go, oh, I don't know, just don't ignore your gut. But I can tell you what, I can talk about things that you should do with outside but the better thing I would rather talk about is let's do business locally. I would tell you that I think that is a much better and easier thing to do. That would be my referral or recommendation is find somebody locally. We have some terrific contractors in this area. Many of them would love your business. Okay, they live here and work here. The money stays in the local economy. So what you would like to do, so if you're looking for a referral, just talk to people. People love giving referrals about where they do business or want to do business. Have you ever noticed that?
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? We talked a little about the roofers because that seems to be probably the most frequent storm chase people. We can roof your house here in just a couple of days. Let's spend that money locally, and if there's a big hole in your roof, the local contractors, they may be busy at the time.
Right.
They're still going to come out and take care of you.
They will probably come out and make sure that there is no further damage done and get to that, and then they might come back and help you out there. The thing is the local versus, I'm going to say, who knows where they're from, Timbuktu, wherever. The follow-up to those things is, what if there's issues or concerns, okay? Just think of local, or let's just say that you're dealing with somebody in Texas, or that's at least what their card says, okay? The local contractor is going to worry about their reputation. Again, if you're from Timbuktu, what is your worry of reputation or follow-up work or anything in the future?
Take the money and run.
They actually are in and out of a storm area faster than the speed of light. Okay, and I've heard horror stories where all of a sudden, this guy will have a cell phone while he's in, let's just say, Albert Lea, Minnesota, but all of a sudden that cell phone isn't available anymore after he leaves the area. Okay, they're long gone. And so what if that roofing job that he did just caused you a whole bunch of damage in your house? And so then you go to your insurance company and they say, hey, We paid for the roof. That's faulty craftsmanship, and that's an excluded item on your insurance. So
now where do you go?
Now where do you go? Guess what? You're going to have to go to the bank probably and borrow money, and hopefully you can. So
do things local, folks. We are in the time frame where storms pop up quite rapidly. Use your local contractors, and of course, as Tom said as we started the program, there are plenty of them. They have websites locally. They will take care of you. Let's keep the scammers, the roofers out of this area, and let them go somewhere else.
Right. Like I said, they're not saying that all of them are that way, but once you do something like that, the chances of being scammed raise enormously for you.
Do your due diligence. We'll leave with that. And Tom, of course, for those folks that have questions, they can always get a hold of you.
Yes, they can get a hold of me at Americana Insurance at 507-377-2000, or they can email me and any questions for the show at insights@americanainsurance.com, or they can visit our website at americanainsurance.com.
That's going to wrap up our Saturday program. Tom, thanks again for coming in. And folks, beware of those storm chasers.
Yes, please do, folks. I'm adamant on this subject. I've seen it, and Mike's lived it. So
don't let it happen to you, folks. I've lived it. It has a nightmare. So buyer beware. That's been a look and a talk education on this Saturday morning with our Insights into Insurance program here on 1450 KATE.
You've been listening to Insights into Insurance from the Americana Insurance Group. All information provided is educational in nature and not intended to be acted upon without first consulting the appropriately licensed professional.